Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This one is for Festive Friday's Library Workers Day. So this is our 56th challenge for Festive Friday, and I'm also using this mood board that Scrapping Amy had posted for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I thought it went perfect. I am with my Willow collection from One Canoe 2. This is the first page I'm making with it, and I was kind of stuck as to which direction I wanted to go in, which is why I decided to lean on a mood board a little bit for my color scheme. I love this green that comes in this collection, so I knew I wanted to use that one right away just because there's green in the photos as well. I just didn't know what direction to kind of take it from there. So after I saw this mood board that brought in these golder tones, I thought that looked really good. And there's this yellowy orange gold that's in the collection. So thought that was perfect. For Library Workers Day for the Festive Friday challenge, you had to choose 3 of the following things: books, bugs, foil, fabric, numbers, alpha, stamps or dies, pens or pencils, yellow, pocket, or ribbon. So you guys will see it already pulling in some yellow. And this collection already has some rose gold or copper. Sorry, I always mix those two up. It's copper in this collection, foil. So right away, I already have yellow and foil from the list. So I really only need one more thing to complete this Festive Friday challenge. These are 3 photos from when I was at the University of Georgia. I was part of the Horsemen's Association at UGA. So we always had meetings where we got to learn about horses and do all sorts of horse related things. So for this meeting, we went out to the reproduction barn. UGA, I'm not sure if they still have it, but they used to have a reproduction barn. You could take a repro class and learn all about that. So we met some of the horses that were pregnant and some of the foals as well who have already dropped. So that was a lot of fun. So I just have 3 photos of me here with some of the mares, and I'm just loving on them. So I thought it was a fun little sweet picture to scrap. So I know I'm going to do this whole column thing. You guys know I really like to do this. I thought it was a really cool way to pull in the yellow too, as these bands up the side. Because these photos are from when I was in school, I'm really going to lean on this notebook punch. I love this punch, but I feel like it has a whole nother meaning when I use it with school related photos. Even though I'm not in school in these photos, it's a club that I don't have to be a part of, but I still thought, I'm at UGA at this point in time, so it makes sense for me to use this notebook punch, so I really wanted to use that. Here you can see me gutting a little bit of the green that's going to be covered up by those photos. I'm not going to be gutting everything this month, just because I have an entire paper pad to work with. I only pulled half of it out to use this month during How to Kill a Kit with Style. But because I do have so much of it, and I also have the 6x8 paper pad, I'm not going to be hoarding it as much as I probably usually would if I only had one of each type of paper. But some of my more favorite papers I do want to save, especially if there's a big chunk that's just going to be covered up. So I did gut that little piece of the green. So I'm just piecing all of this together on a scrap piece of black paper. But I'm going to get these photos down. This is going to be my basic design, and then I just get to play a little bit with embellishment. There's a lot of fun embellishment that comes in this collection. I have the die cut set, these really cool coppery charms. And I still have my hashtag sticker books I can pull in as well. So I'm kind of thinking about all of that. I first of all wanted to look into the die cut pack. I really wanted to go there first to try and figure out what I wanted to use ephemera wise. I really like this notebook paper die cut piece just because it would work really well as a journaling spot. But also it kind of reinforces the fact that that's when I'm in UGA, and then the notebook punch kind of makes more sense because there's a notebook piece of paper on the page. I also thought about, since there's a notebook piece of paper, I could get one of these pencils on the page. Pencils were one of the items on the inspiration list, so I thought maybe that would be the 3rd item I was going to pull in. But it was really bothering me. I don't know if it should bother me as much as it did, but the yellow that's on the die cut with the pencil is a much more brighter yellow than the yellow that's in this pattern paper that's more on the orangey side. So I keep the pencil out and I really try and make it work, but I felt like those colors clashed a little bit, so I decided not to go with the pencil and I go in a different direction. You can see I have that green butterfly out, and I love butterflies, so right away I was like, you know what, bugs are one of the items on the inspiration list, maybe I'll go down that route instead. And once I pulled this butterfly over, I was like, yep, it's gonna be the butterfly. I think it looks super sweet. They could have given me like 100 butterflies in this collection, I would have got them all used up. So yeah, I love the butterflies, so I figured might might as well go ahead and get one of them on a page. So I'm creating a little cluster here with that journaling spot. I pulled in one of my doilies just to beef out that little cluster a little bit, and I'm just trying to build. I kind of thought about moving the journaling spot to the smaller tan piece, but I really do like the notebook paper one instead, so I will go for that one. I'm just playing around with which ones I want to put where. With this larger cluster on the bottom right page, that means I want to balance it on the upper left side of the page with a smaller cluster, so I'm just playing around with a few die cut pieces up there. I really love the little label that says "Love This." I think that's really cute, and I really like that it has some of that copper foil on it, so I figured that's going to go up there with another smaller cluster. And I like that I'm pulling that green in a little more. But I have these sweet puffy stickers that come in this collection, so I figured I'd use one of those as my title to bring more of that foil element in. And then you can see I have a piece of this lighter green. I wanted something else in this, I just thought it needed like one more color, so I'm using this lighter green to be that third thing to kind of round out this page. So I'm cutting a banner from this scrap, and I'm going to have that in both sections. I also felt like these two clusters needed something that was the same to kind of balance each other. So having this light green banner in both clusters I think helps and does that. And I like having the lighter green just because it kind of ties everything else together. So that's what I'm starting with. I'm going to get Breathe down as my title. I thought that was really sweet. It kind of reminds me of when I was in this club. I was not very social in school. I was in the pre-veterinary, category, all the sciences. It's very competitive. Getting into vet school is very competitive. So for me, college was my job, and that was my priority, and I studied, locked myself in my room. I was not social at all. So this club was my social activity. This was my chance to get out, have a break, and actually talk to other humans that had similar interests as me. So I thought this Breathe was super appropriate because these were what these meetings were to me. There was more than just me getting to hang out with horses and get to be around something that comforts me. It was also my little social outlet and my chance to take a break from studying and do something else. So I felt like that title was appropriate. That's going to stay on there because it kind of has a double meaning to me. It really kind of symbolizes what these meetings were to me. You can also see I put that little charm up there in the upper left-hand corner. That one says peace. I love these little charm pieces. These are my favorite part of this collection. Out of all the ephemera and everything, I love the butterflies, but I think these little copper charms are the coolest thing. I love when collections have these little additional specialty pieces that just add such a cool touch to your page. It's something different, and those were it for me on this collection. I love these little copper charms, and I wish they got a whole lot more because I love these things. So that's going to go up in that cluster as well, and you'll see a little bit later on I end up stitching that to the page. But for right now I'm still trying to get this little cluster on the right side configured. So I'm going to glue down the doily in the journaling spot and kind of figure out where I want the butterfly. I moved the butterfly to the bottom right part just because I didn't want it to cover too much of this horse's head. But then I go in and add another die cut over where the butterfly would have been anyways. So the top two photos are the same horse, so I wasn't too worried about covering up a little bit of the second photo since you can see her face better in the top photo anyways. But I don't know what I'm going to do my stitching now. So what I did, I don't know if I've done it yet. There's a little ring on these charms that you could literally thread through a necklace if you wanted to wear these, and they are good quality. I wouldn't mind doing that. They're really cute. But this little ring was kind of making the charm not lay flat on the page, so I did end up just removing that little ring, so it was just that circular charm, and I'm going to end up stitching this charm to my page just through that little hole where that ring was, and I think that worked out a lot better. But I do like that they come on the ring. Just it gives you versatility in case you do want that or you want to use it for something different than this. But as far as how I wanted to use it, just stitching it down to the page, it worked better without that ring. But these are really cute. I mean, you could make I would use one of these little charms as a keychain or tie something on it and make it a bookmark. I mean, they're adorable. So I'm just pulling a thread through the page through a little hole that I poked with my piercing tool. I'm going to do a couple knots on the back and washi tape it down so it doesn't come loose, but pretty simple. I just wanted to tie it to the page so it had some movement. I didn't want to just glue it to where it was a stagnant piece. So I really like as the page moves, it kind of rocks a little bit from left to right, and I think that's just a really cool touch. I did think about adding a doily up there to mimic the doily that was in the bottom right hand corner, but in the end I'd kind of already glued everything down. I didn't want to pull it back up, and I thought it was kind of unnecessary to have it up there, so I left it. But I do have my little Stampin' Up! Marker. This color goes really good with this collection for anyone who has these. This Stampin' Right marker is called More Mustard, and it is like the perfect yellow for this collection. So my journaling just has the date. It says the Horsemen's Association at UGA had a meeting at the reproduction farm to visit the pregnant mares and practice full handling. I got a lot of mare snuggles in and worked with a 9-day-old colt named Christopher. So you guys will see Christopher on a later page. He's adorable. That was another part of this meeting. We got to meet these pregnant mares, but the main point of it was to do full handling. So we got to work with all the babies and figure out the best way to start training them. This was in part of one of my horse classes I took at college, but for a lot of people who aren't vet majors and don't take these animal science classes that I get to take as a pre-veterinary undergrad, it was nice for them to get a chance to get their hands on these folds as well. And I didn't mind doing it again. It was almost practice for me for my actual class. So you guys will see Christopher on under the page. He's adorable. But yeah, just ruffling up this punch a little bit so you really get that notebook edge. I did add some of those puffy hearts from that puffy sticker sheet with the breathe, just so that was somewhere else. And at this point, I think I'm done. But it looks too plain. I wasn't happy with it. I feel like this looks really cute how it is, but it's not finished. So I did go back. I took pictures and everything thinking this page was done. I'm like, it's not done yet. So I do end up going back. I decided I could pull in a few other things from not the Willow collection to round it out. So I have my hashtag sticker book. They have a whole sheet of word stickers that worked really well, and they had some really pretty greens that coordinated with the Saturday afternoon collection that went really, really great. And then I also had a whole bunch of packs of freckled fawn enamel dots, and some of them had some really nice matches with the yellow as well. So I figured if I use these nice green word stickers with a little cluster of the mustardy enamel dots, that would be a nice little finishing touch. And I think it was just enough. Like, now I'm happy with it. Now it looks done. And I love those little additions, just how a little word sticker and a couple enamel dots can just change the whole page. So now we're done. This is the final page. Here are the close-ups if you guys want to play along. I will link Festive Friday in the description. I will also link the Secret Not Secret Kit Club because I did use their challenge. I'll link their main page. You do have to be a part of their Kit Club to be a part of the private group where we do all the fun challenges and stuff. But if you're interested in that, I will link that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.